back on the East Side Job trailer with me recording this week and brought me nothing. I didn't get a slice of pie. I didn't get a square of a treat. Do you do that intentionally, or do you just don't give a shit?
So, one, I don't give a shit.
This is your brain going faster than your mouth to process, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be that way if you had kids?
Yeah, see, that's probably very true, right? I'm aware of that fact. People who are going to listen are going to listen, and those who don't won't, right?
Right.
You and I, a lot of times, it's so much fun when we have a guest in, and we're trying to do better about that. But when we don't have a guest here, you and I could sit here and bullshit about a subject of any kind, construction or not, for 3 hours.
For a long time.
And since I don't want to put the people through all that, because if we get too long, we'll split them into 2 episodes. We haven't had to do it yet.
No.
Right? And we let the guests run long because we want to hear what they have to say. So those are always like an hour, hour and a half, right?
Yep.
It's a little more unusual. But our general ones, I like to use that timer because, I mean, a recent episode we did about documentaries.
Yeah.
Man, we could have spun on that for 3 hours and people would have been sick of listening to us talk about that. I just used the timer to keep it at a reasonable 55 minutes to an hour.
No, that's solid. That's solid. I was just kind of surprised because we're 60 some episodes in, and
right, yeah.
I didn't know if you were still using that or not.
No, I still am. And it was advice that I got kind of a third party from somebody we've used as a resource in starting this whole podcast. I'm sure it's going to come up here in a few minutes, but yeah, it's just something to, keep consistent.
Right.
So anyways, I still use the timer just to keep an eye on what's going on.
Well, and that's the deal, right? Like we're winding down 24. Right?
Man, we're damn close now, buddy.
Right. And we started this thing in 23, right?
We did.
But before we get too far into it, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go, man. Yeah, let's get after it.
You got all your things gone?
I think I get everything I need here.
All right, cool. Well, everybody, welcome again to the I Shower After Work podcast. Another week. Good buddy Jason sitting across the table from me, and we're once again in the East Side Job trailer. Jason, how you doing, my man?
Good, my man. How are you? How was your week?
I was pretty good. I can't really complain. It's nice to be working inside. But
I've been outside a bit.
Yeah.
The temperature finally fell out, kids.
Yeah. How is your rooftops going?
Listen, it hasn't been consistently rooftops, but there's been a few here and there. We've said before, construction is a great career and you can make a really good living, but occasionally, and sometimes for a lot of trades, always working outside in the shit. I'm not complaining. I've had a few days that been outside and it sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, man, it is what it is. This time of year it gets cold and we just fucking suck it up.
And we tend to be okay with it up here in the Midwest, right? The upper Midwest.
You've been here, I shouldn't say you've been here. My perspective, man, I've been here. This will be my 18th winter that I'm starting right now.
Yeah.
Okay. It just started to really be winter here at the time of recording about the last 6-7 days, right? The temperature finally fell out. We had a nice fall.
Yep.
But that time is over.
Well past.
Over.
Yeah.
18 years here, I've climatized quite a bit. I realize that it's going to suck, but it's the suck we're all going through together. And
we'll get into later in this episode about some things that that you can have as a construction worker that you can makes life a little bit better.
Yeah, right? Some of the technology and availability stuff has changed. It makes life a little easier. But we're definitely into that.
But as it is that time of year, and we are winding down on 2024, Merry Christmas, my man.
Merry Christmas, my man. Have some cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome, our second annual Christmas special.
Second annual. That is weird to say for me.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're new to the podcast and you haven't actually listened to our first Christmas episode that we had, go ahead and pause now, reset, go back. I honestly don't know what episode that was. I want to say it was like in the teens.
I'm going to find it here, man. Keep going.
I'm going to say it was like 19. I'm guessing it's 19.
Guessing it's 19. Okay.
I'm guessing. But yeah, go ahead, hit pause, go back, listen to that one. Jason was talking a pretty good amount of shit of a very specific group of people, and that I am sure that's going to come up.
It's going to come up. Just to be clear, has been such a crazy year and a half for us so far, buddy. That was episode 9.
Was that 9?
Forgive us for the production quality that far back, folks.
Yeah,
but yes,
please.
as John said, it's going to come up.
Give us a little love for that one.
I talked some wild shit about a very specific group of people. I'll mention it today, and I'll reassess my stance 12 months later.
Yeah.
But yes, man, Merry Christmas. Welcome.
Merry Christmas, sir.
So,
Merry Christmas.
Made it through another year.
We did.
Man,
We did.
Christmas came up quick this year.
Oh man. And I think that's because with us doing this year seemed to have flown by really fast.
So fast. We spent so much time getting stuff together, so many phone calls, so many everything. It's been wild this last year, man. Like,
Man, the amount of time that we've spent together, oh my God.
hey, listen,
Every week,
right? Like we're doing something every week, folks. Like, yes, we're happy to do this, and thank you very much for the Christmas gift of all the listeners. We do really appreciate it. But yes,
Absolutely.
we do a lot. And listen, if you've been listening regularly, and for everybody that does, thank you very much. Even if you're a few episodes behind, shout out to my buddy Travis B. He's always a few episodes behind because he mentioned something, and I have to think for a second, like, what's he talking about? Oh, yeah. That's 4 episodes or 5 episodes ago. Like, yeah. But even if you're behind, yeah, it's okay. Thank you for listening. Some of this will be a little recap of the last year, but that's okay, folks. That's what we're here for. I got to thinking, man, like things have changed a lot since the last, especially now that I know I would have thought you were right about the 19-ish episodes. The fact that it's 9, that's 50 ago.
Yeah.
Ballpark. That's pretty close, folks.
Yeah.
That's 50. That's almost the full year, right?
Yeah.
Man, things have changed quite a bit in the last year, buddy.
Yeah. But it's changed for good. There's been a lot of good progress as this year has gone by, especially for this little thing that we decided to do kind of on a whim. And, I want to take a minute before we get too far into it and do some shout outs.
Yeah, please. Yeah, that's what we do. Christmas gifts to all our friends.
Is there, and I'll let you go first. I'm feeling the gift of giving. I'll let you.
I appreciate that.
Is there
man.
a certain shout out that you'd like to give?
I've got a bunch, but one in particular to get started here. Man, we have got to thank Dave from the How to Podcast series. You can find him at howtopodcast.ca. John and I cannot stress enough how big a help he has been to us, not only starting out in the podcast, but like a valuable ongoing resource.
Oh, for sure.
All I know is I listen to him regularly every week when he puts his episodes out. Not only has he helped us out with shouting us out a couple times, but the information that we've gotten from him personally through a meetup that we had online with him and a bunch of other podcasters, and then just some conversations back and forth.
Yep.
It wouldn't be what it is without Dave. So I just want to say Merry Christmas to Dave and to say thank you for everything he's helped us out with.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll back that up with not only to Dave, but to his family, because Dave is a busy man. Dave's got 7 podcasts that he's doing, working full time, owning rental properties, helping his kids out. Like him and his wife are troopers, and how they make it work. God bless.
Yeah, listen, and they are grinding.
Yeah.
So good on them, yeah, especially. And his boy, also in the trades too, has recently got in. So I hope he's still at that. If he's listening, thank you very much for listening. We appreciate you. I'm not going to shout out your name again because at the moment I'm having trouble remembering what it is. It starts with an M.
I think McKellen?
Marshall?
No, it's like your last name.
It's like McKinnon. That's what I thought.
I want to say it's
Because I called him Mac short for a couple times we talked about him.
Yeah.
So anyways, either way,
McMillan.
It's
McMillan.
Attaboy. Yeah. Thanks for listening, McMillan. We really appreciate you as well for the odd time you check us out. So.
Oh, for sure. And we should kick Dave a Christmas present.
Oh yes, Dave. Yeah, you're going to see some coffees coming from us for sure, buddy. All the help can't be understated or overstated. You've been great. So thank you very much to Dave. And if you want to check him out, if you're thinking about starting a podcast, but if you're interested in people who are new to it or want to be in the ground floor thing, sometimes people like that. He also has a lot of either brand new podcasters like us, or people who have been in it for a while, or people who have not even started yet and they're just asking the right questions. It's an interesting podcast in itself about how this whole thing happens. So
right.
Yeah.
And unlike us, we have this podcast that's about the trades. Everybody in the trades, that's boots on the ground. It's things that we deal with. Dave has podcasts that are random. Like he does the How to Podcast series. He has the Living Your Next Chapter, which is an author
book. Yeah, that one's
podcast.
Interesting. Yeah, I've heard that a couple times.
Dad Space, all about for dads. I have listened to a ton of that.
Right.
And I had a great conversation with Dave personally. The things that we're both dealing with as dads and stuff like that. It's really awesome. But I can't preach him up enough, man.
Right.
Like,
So we'll finish up, move on, folks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you're interested in checking that out, that's at howtopodcast.ca. He is another proud Canadian like me, so it's working out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, please check him out.
Absolutely.
So, man, what's your plans for Christmas this year?
I think it's low key Christmas this year. I think both my girls are going to be, or all three of my girls are going to be in the house. Senior year for the youngest one, senior year of college for the oldest. Our middle one just passed her driver's license exam. So,
Man, you're living that family life, aren't you?
oh, I love it. I absolutely I live on it. Like, it drives me.
And I love good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Sometimes you and I are real different.
I get good night's sleep, man. I don't worry
Really?
about my kids too much.
You don't worry about them yet.
Well-
How often have I told you the key word in many questions is yet?
Yet. Yeah. They all seem to be very good kids. I love them all. No, the wife and I are just going to chill out and enjoy. I'll probably do more baking.
Yes, you mentioned last year, and even in our Thanksgiving episode recently, you do a lot of baking. I would like to start out, now that you brought it up, I was assuming you were going to bring it up at some point. Thank you that you did it organically. For everybody who did listen to the Thanksgiving episode, John talked about French silk pie and possum pie that did not include possum,
Right.
and then some other odds and ends that he was going to make for Thanksgiving and everything. He's back on the East Side Job Trailer with me recording this week and brought me nothing. I didn't get a slice of pie. I didn't get a square of a treat. Apparently, fuck me. So anyways, I just want to say that on the record here. Thanks for nothing.
Yeah.
Couldn't even bring me a treat or nothing. Like, what are you doing here, man?
Jesus,
you're
man.
baking. You don't
Busting
big
my
guy
fucking
nothing.
balls
Yeah,
over.
fuck you for
Fine,
sure.
next
Hey, you
time.
want me to bust your balls? Let me ask you a question, man. I wrote this as a note.
Yeah.
Last recording session. Is that a Minnesota Lynx sticker on your laptop? You a big
No.
fan of the WNBA or what's going on
No.
there?
That is not a Link sticker. That
Are you
is,
sure?
yeah. So that is a sticker from a server hosting company.
That's a sticker from it. I'm putting this up online. I'm calling John out now for
Yeah.
being a WNBA fan. I'll have to look
Nope.
this up. What's the name of this company on the record? Look, he doesn't even have it ready. He doesn't know. He's just trying to make it for
I
you.
can't remember of it.
All right, if it dawns on you later, just shout it out, okay? But
Yeah.
it sure looks like John is a card-carrying member, flag-flying fan of the Minnesota Lynx. I'm not suggesting that's bad, but I only recently found out that there is actually a WNBA.
Hey man, I'll say this: they're doing something that I know I can't.
On a cursory lookup, I did find out they have been multiple-time champions, but in also their defense and mine, I haven't really watched the NBA in years, so it's all right.
Right.
I got John thrown off here. Perfect. Merry Christmas, buddy, to me.
Yeah, fuck you. God damn it, you did it again. What about you? Right back at you. What are your plans for Christmas?
I mentioned briefly a couple episodes ago. The missus and I are going with some of the in-laws and immediate family. We're going to go to Mexico this year. So
Hitting someplace warm.
yeah,
There you go.
we've done this once or twice before with the families, the brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws, and some of the nieces, nephews, a few of their friends. We got a group of like 17 going. It's gonna be fun. I've had warm Christmas before.
Yeah.
And there's no Christmas tree and snow is pretty and all that, but man, it's nice to sit down on a Christmas morning, have a nice little breakfast, and then sit by the pool and just drink beers all day.
I tell you what, man, I realized the other day I was hanging out and just thinking about life and thinking about everything,
As one does.
as one does. And I really actually came to the realization that if I don't have a white Christmas, it bugs the fuck out of me. It really does. Like to the point that I told the wife, I'm like, look, if we retire and we become, winter birds and fly south for the winter, I'd have to come up just for Christmas, just for the snow. I want a white Christmas.
Really?
I love white Christmases. I get as giddy as a freaking schoolgirl when I wake up on Christmas Day and it's white.
All right, so traveling back to Nova Scotia all the time, my wife Michelle and I, we occasionally get back for the holidays. We'll be there for Canada Day and the 4th of July. Mm-hmm. We get back, I think in the 18 years I've been here, we've been home for 4 Christmases. This will be a time that my brother comes in and fact checks me again, which also reminds me, a couple episodes ago, I had some information about my brother fact checking and never finished the thought during the episode. I'm going to do that today. I'm writing a note right now, folks.
By the way, Merry Christmas to Craig and his family and everybody up there in Nova
yes,
Scotia.
my mom, Delina, my sister-in-law, Young, and my lovely niece and nephews, Haley and Connor. Haley doing very well in school, so is Connor, and Connor, a new member of the Army Reserve up there, so shout out to my nephew, Connor. I love you, buddy, and I love you, Haley.
Fantastic.
But yeah, so that's our plan this time. Again, we've done it before. Yes, I mentioned the going back to Nova Scotia sporadically thing before I get sidetracked here. There was a wonderful morning years ago that Michelle and I were both there for Christmas morning. They hadn't had any snow yet, and it started snowing Christmas morning. Yeah, it was beautiful. That's the traditional Hallmark quote-unquote Christmas.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But also, Mexico has beaches and pools and buffets when you're hungry and fun with. That's also a white Christmas is great, but you know what? Whatever color sand is, a tan Christmas is also wonderful, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
I've never had that. I've never gone to Mexico I've never gone south for Christmas.
yeah, I had never done it until I guess it was probably 7 years ago. We did the first one. Again, it's different, but it's also nice.
And the closest I ever did I was in Florida close to Christmas. Came back before Christmas, but
That's pretty close, buddy.
that was close.
Yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah, for sure it is. So I'm going to get it out of the way earlier. If you go back and listen to episode 9, if you haven't heard it already, I got a little tuned up last one. I was pretty drunk by the end, and I talked some wild shit about a very specific group of people, specifically French people.
And
So
Canadian.
Yeah, I should say
people.
specific. Thank you, buddy. Canadian French people, people from Quebec and the southern part of Nova Scotia spread.
Right. So let me ask you, has that changed at all in the past year?
I have refined my opinion.
Ooh, that doesn't sound like it's changed much.
No, it hasn't changed much. I've refined my opinion. Okay. As a general group, I stand by every generalization I had on the other episode. I'm not going to go through them all. You have to go back and listen to it for yourself. Obviously, with any group, it's not everybody. I have some friends and family who are perfectly wonderful people who are definitely French, Canadian by birth, raise, everything, right?
Yep.
Now, I ask myself, though, I got to thinking about it. Are they nice to me because they have to, because we're family? Because my comparison is every other Quebec French person has been kind of an arsehole to me over the years, for the most part. So are they doing it because they have to, because we're family? Like, there's certain family members that I get along with when, if I didn't be related to them by blood, it probably would be a fist fight instead of a conversation at Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever it is.
So it's toleration?
Yeah. Are they tolerating me and being nice because they have to and they really hate white people? Well, not white people, pardon me, but English-speaking people? Maybe. But I'm going to assume there's some exceptions, but I'm sticking to my original plan, my original opinion from last time. You're not old world French. You only think you're in Canada because you got there first. You didn't get there first. There's people on the East Coast and you end arounded through the northern oceans and waterways and got ahead of them by taking different streets. No, you're not there first. You got further later. But anyway, all right.
That's funny.
That's my whole opinion. I stick to my opinion from the first time. You're not from France. You're French people. Deal with what you're dealing.
And part of me thinks, and I'd have to fact check myself on it, but I think, did I, in that last episode last year, did I call you French? Or partially French?
I believe you said something about French Canadian, which may have been what started that whiskey-fueled rant.
Because I think it pissed you off. So
it might have been what nudged me in that direction. It might have been what. And again, listen, I have lots of French relatives. Any of who knew me at all, and most of them do, would know I'm being satirical, I'm being funny or whatever, right? There's plenty of great people with every culture, and there's plenty of pieces of shit. Like, there's lots of English. There's tons of pieces of shit who are English, right? Like, it's totally fine, right? But yeah, no, it was just a rant last time, and I think it did precipitate from you saying French Canadian. I might have taken a little offense to that.
Yeah. Well,
but now what would you say?
Fucking big boy pants.
You'd say Scotch Irish now because you know better, right? Especially now that we found out recently you're a percentage more Celtic than we thought you were.
Yeah.
So
Quite a bit more, actually.
it's all good, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I definitely did that. So obviously, some of these holiday episodes are going to have a slightly repetitive nature.
Oh,
We're going to
yeah.
talk about the popular Christmas gifts of the day, what you can do for the construction worker in your life to make their life better around the holidays. We're going to get into the same stuff, right?
Right.
But if you listen to our voices and that's what you enjoy, well, you're okay. That's going to be occasionally repetitive.
And also a little weird.
And some of these are also a little weird.
Well, I'm saying if you actually like our voices, that's just kind of a little weird.
I actually think anybody who enjoys our voices, specifically mine, is a really good judge of character and has a wonderful thought process.
Oh, get off your high horse. Fuck. Here we go. Pour another drink. Jesus.
We've mentioned earlier that it's a really weird thing to have people compliment you on your voice. I'm getting used to it now. I'm kind of taking it in stride here. In your life this year, man, are you making any major purchases for anybody for Christmas? The missus, she won't hear this in advance.
You know what? She's actually been a real thorn in my ass.
Lay it on me, man.
Yeah. So she has, it's the first year that I asked her over and over and over and over and over again, what do you want for Christmas? I have no fucking ideas because we tend to buy ourselves shit and each other shit all year. So it makes Christmas really, really hard.
You said almost the exact same thing verbatim last Christmas episode. Go ahead.
Yeah. But this year it's been worse. Usually I can come up with something. And this year I'm really leaning hard. Like, I have no fucking idea. And then she just looks at me. She's like, I have all my stuff. I'm good. I'm like, you're not helping. So, no, I mean, I do have something picked out for her. And it's a pretty sweet little ad. We're food driven in our house.
Yes. You've
Right.
mentioned the baking and whatnot.
So
Sure.
I actually bought her a wok set, a full wok, and everything else. Like, that's what she said that she'd really be nice to have.
If I may, for everybody who isn't aware, which is probably the vast majority of our listeners, but not all, John's wife Ashley is from Korea. Continue with your walk talk.
She's never had one.
I'm not saying it's racist. I'm saying it sounds racist.
It sounds really,
buddy. It sounds racist.
She is, look, man, okay, let's clarify everything. My wife, yes, was born in South Korea. She is a fucking Twinkie, and I call her my Twinkie. She's yellow on the outside, white in the middle. She is born there, raised very Midwestern white.
Yeah, she's an adopted child who looks one way and is very much culturally a local. For
Yes.
sure. Legitimately, probably more than me in the Midwest, right? Like, let's be legitimate.
Yeah.
She's more Midwestern than I will ever be.
Oh, yeah. She grew up here.
Raised here, grew up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah.
But the visual of it is
If you could-
sort of funny.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Don't give me any heat because I've said those exact words to my wife. She laughs. We have a good time.
Oh,
But
I believe that she's not that way at all. I've gotten to know Ashley, and God love her. Yeah, she's got a pretty good attitude. I mean,
Right.
I don't know that it's ever come up, but she has a tattoo, which is almost kind of to be funny about it. It looks like the tattoo looks like a stamp, an old school rubber stamp, folks. It's got some slightly bleeding edges and things like that.
the stamp on the back of plates that says made in China.
Yeah, exactly.
Look
Yeah,
just like that.
Yeah, just like that. Only says made in Korea, kind of mid back up high,
Right on her neck.
To be funny, it's poignant and hilarious, and God love Ashley.
Yeah,
Like, it
yeah,
is
it's
really
really
funny.
great.
So.
But no, that's what she said. She's like, I could actually really use that. So she just wanted the pan. I got her a whole set. And so that's what she got this year.
That's a pretty good gift, buddy.
And then I gave her a mug that's engraved. It says, I'm not spoiled. My husband just loves me.
I don't know how people are going to see me gagging on audio, but you can assume that's what's happening, folks. No, that's very cute, man. You're lucky. You at least have ideas. I know I mentioned last time. I'm going to mention again this time. My wife is extremely observant and thoughtful throughout the year, and almost always comes up with. Now, we've made an agreement that since we're traveling this year, that's the gift. We splurged a little. We're going away for Christmas. No gifts. But
Have you still bought her something?
Oh, listen, I haven't. but I'm fucking gonna.
Yeah.
Because Christmas morning is going to turn around and we're going to wake up in bed and we're going to go out and we're going to drink a coffee and I'm going to smoke a cigarette and we're going to look out at the ocean and she's going to reach around and have a little fucking something wrapped up and I'm going to go, fuck you for fucking screwing me over. And to avoid that, just in case, I'm going to have something with me.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, if she don't bring something out, I'm not going to drop it on her and hit her with a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
I'll take it home or I'll wait a day or two and then give it to her.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have a bullet in the chamber because she really might be loaded for bear. I'm not taking no chances.
Yeah. Cover your ass.
Yeah. Being in a long-term relationship, cover your butt for sure, right? Well, that's good, man. Okay, so I've gotten this comment from two different people. I'm going to take a real quick side tangent here. I don't want to make you paranoid, buddy, but it has been brought up, and I've noticed myself over 60-some episodes now.
Yeah.
You like to use a regular, everyday comment that saying that lots of people say, and you like to change one word, and a couple listeners, including me, have noticed. Earlier tonight, in this very episode, you said, and I quote, a thorn in my ass. You know the saying is a thorn in my side, right?
Yeah.
You do this with a lot of stuff, and
Yeah.
people have mentioned it, and I love it. I have not brought it up until now because I love that you do something different,
Yeah.
but people would be like, did he mean this? Do you do that intentionally, or do you just don't give a shit?
So, one, I don't give a shit.
This is your brain going faster than your mouth can
Yes,
process, right?
exactly.
Okay.
But I also grew up with, that's what my mom would say. She would never say, you're a thorn in my side. She'd literally say, you're a thorn in my ass. Leave me alone.
Okay. Yeah.
That's where that comes from.
Fair enough. Okay, so this is something you learned from other family members who had a variation of the common chosen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. All right.
The other times, yes, I will say a common saying and I will change it up because it makes more sense in my head. And then, yes, my brain is moving faster than my mouth can keep up.
That's fair enough, man.
That happens to a lot of things that I talk about. And I have to I have to always remind myself to slow the fuck down and actually talk, because like I did just there, I kind of stammer and stuff like that. For everybody new that's listening.
Listen, dude, it happens occasionally.
Eyes
right?
don't talk's good.
Anyone who did actually pause and go back and listen to episode 9 for the last Christmas special, you're going to hear different speech, different audio quality. Everything is it's just a year ago. Things are going to get better.
Yep.
Keep going, buddy. I was just looking up something I wanted to talk to the folks about here. Give me a second.
Okay. Well, holy shit, you kind of really, thanks for throwing me under the bus there with no lead in. What a dick.
You're welcome.
So, real quick, while Jason's looking that up, I want to actually take a minute and thank a listener for a comment that actually kind of really makes me really enjoy doing this. It kind of reignites like that funness that we have and why I enjoy doing it. Claire, she actually commented on the Thanksgiving episode, and we love you. Thank you very much. But she said, new listener, your podcast popped up in my YouTube feed. Hope you blow up. I had deer egg rolls when I lived in West Virginia, and also had biscuits and gravy for the first time. They're yum. And Prince was my first concert. Happy Thanksgiving. She is an absolute sweetheart.
God love you, Claire. Thanks for listening. We appreciate that.
So she wrapped up. She really did listen to the whole episode. That's kind of funny because we were kind of all over the place. But yeah, biscuits and gravy happens to be my favorite breakfast food.
So, Claire, we thank you very much. We're so happy you found us. Let me give you a real quick one here. You go out and you buy a pound of Jimmy Dean hot breakfast sausage in the refrigerated case at the grocery store.
Yep.
You get milk. You make sure you have flour at home, and you get some cheap biscuits that you can cook in the oven.
Yep.
Pillsbury Doughboy, doesn't matter, right? You fry up that meat, and once it's almost cooked, you sprinkle 1/4 cup of flour over top of that meat, and then you take 2 cups of milk, and you slowly drip that in, and mix it up with a whisk as you go. You let it boil for like 6 seconds. It is so easy. It's so perfect. Biscuits and gravy every Sunday. Help yourself.
And I don't want to complicate it there, but honestly, use heavy cream.
If you use heavy cream, you can use a little less, and it does give it
pepper.
And if you use the hot Jimmy Dean, you don't need no pepper. And well, that's easy for me to say because I make all that and then I put it on my biscuits and then I throw a bunch of Cholula on top of it. So
Yeah,
I shouldn't
so
be
shut
hating on
up.
you. I should be hating on you. But listen, thank you, Claire. We're so happy you listen. Please reach out and keep commenting. John mentioned that to me and I went and read that. We're so happy that you found us. So thank you very much, Claire. And Merry Christmas or whatever holiday you happen to celebrate. It might not be that.
You know what? You bring up a good fucking point.
We bitched about that last year a little bit too.
Yep. And I'm going to bitch about it again. It ain't fucking happy holidays. It's Merry fucking Christmas.
Okay.
There, I said it.
Yeah. That was our stance last year. All right. I have softened my position since then slightly. It is Merry Christmas for people who are Catholic or Christian. I'm willing to obviously admit there's other religions that don't celebrate this holiday, but celebrate some sort of family-loving get-together this time of year. Whatever that holiday is called in your particular group, I hope you're enjoying that.
Look, and here's why I take the hard stance that I do. It's not malicious, but it's a simple fact of if I met you in a grocery store, happen to be walking out, if you were the teller and I was walking out of the grocery store, I'm going to say Merry Christmas. I don't know if you're Jewish. I don't know if you're Islam. I don't know if you have some religious background that shifts that.
Maybe you're one of those people who worship snakes.
Yeah, I don't know that. Look, it's Merry Christmas. It's out of love and respect and support, and it's just about having a good time. Right? Don't mean it maliciously, but it's Merry fucking Christmas.
Yeah, so where I stand now is I'll say what I'm going to say out in public social situations. If you say Happy Holidays or whatever your choice, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is, and I say Merry Christmas, well, that means I know where you stand and you know where I stand. We didn't mean it maliciously. We offered each other greetings based on our particular...
That's exactly it.
That's where I'm at now.
Yep.
Don't hate on me because I said Merry Christmas. I'm inclusive to everybody, but that's the one that I'm celebrating.
Right.
So,
Right.
there. We've solidified our position since last
right.
year, man. So,
We're going to end up saying this again next year.
yeah, I'm sure we are. Every year, probably. Hopefully, later on, people are saying, hey, that's 4 years in a row. You guys brought that up. So, big thing here is, man, not real quick, because I've been trying to get away from the real quick
Yeah,
thing,
we just
folks.
stopped that.
Yeah, I brought it up a few episodes ago. That's a vernacular thing for me, folks. When I say real quick, I just mean I want to talk about something.
Yeah.
Spending is up.
Spending is up.
Since last year that we did this, spending is up significantly.
Yeah, what I saw was it was up 12.5%.
So I found one that showed two different figures that fall into what you said. The spending dollar figure will be around 12.5%, give or take, right? And we got this from conferenceborg.org, so they're fairly bipartisan. The actual spending is up 7.9%. The extra is taxes and inflation increases in most areas on
I didn't see that separation.
which is
that's
almost,
painful.
if you don't do the math in your head, folks, that's 4.5%.
Yeah, that's painful.
So we went up that from 2023 to 2024. So the difference there is $1,006 average spending per family, up to $1,063. It's not a gigantic increase.
So what would you say? Now I'm going to let you guess because all of my family, I've got a family of 5. Okay? 3 kids, 2 adults. I call them kids, but they're all pretty much legally adults.
Right.
So, but what would you guess that we spent on holiday shopping this year? Christmas shopping, Christmas gifts.
When you say we, do you
Me
mean
and
what
my
you
wife.
and the missus spent on each other and the kids? Or
And the
just
kids, the whole family.
All right. So your bill for 4 people and her bill for 4 people. Or did you go together on the kids?
No, we went together on the kids.
Okay, so each are spending for 4 people. That's it.
Yeah.
3 of them the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Total, you spent $900. He asks the question, folks, and then doesn't have the figure ready in his head. I'm a little shy. Yeah. A little shy or a little shy? The second one or the first one?
A little shy.
$1,200.
Yeah. For our family.
Right.
Or I mean, it was right at about that $1,200 mark. And that's what we considered. Like, we didn't buy anything extravagant. right? And I only say those numbers to prove a point about this shopping amount, right? The figures that we're talking about.
Yeah.
There isn't a lot underneath the fucking tree with that $1,200. Like, very minimal. Which kind of, it is what it is.
Side note, one of the things with my missus over the years has been that we may have had important yeah, that's a great sound, isn't it? Everybody says they love that sound. Keep the comments coming. Everybody loves a good cork squeak. There has been years where my missus has, and I said she's always great with gifts. She picks out excellent things that would be useful for me. She's never bought me anything that I wouldn't use.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that last week or two before Christmas. And again, different this year. We're not buying gifts because we're going away. That's our gift to each other. That she would, all of a sudden, I'd come home from work one day and there'd be 2-3 extra boxes wrapped up under there because she felt, well, there's only a couple little boxes on. She's like, yeah, but you went out and got thoughtful gifts and you wrapped them up. The size isn't the deal, but there's still that old school visual perception of a Christmas tree with presents underneath it, and right?
Yeah.
Like it could I mean, we obviously don't spend this money. I'm trying to make a point. There could be $2,000 worth of gifts under a tree, and it's only 3 or 4 little boxes.
Yep.
Or you could have spent $100 and there's a bunch of great big boxes and it looks all full. But somehow visually, this is maybe this is a conspiracy theory, not really, but they show us photos and commercials and stuff on TV of the traditional Christmas tree with full. I think that's got to subtly nudge people into, our tree doesn't look like we have very many presents. I'll go buy it. I'll just get a couple more things.
Right.
My wife is definitely on that train. She hates to see a slightly empty under the tree, even though all those gifts, dollar figure or not, were thoughtful and considered throughout the year and useful.
Yep. Well, and that's the deal too, because when you have kids, and I say it that way because
I don't have kids.
You don't have kids.
Yeah, I don't have kids. Yeah.
So we buy the kids gifts. We lay them out, we set them out, and then we count, right? For some reason we do this, and I'm not even sure why, but we do it every year. We count how many gifts the kids have. And if they're off a little bit, we'll combine them so that they're even.
What do you mean?
We'll take, say one of my kids has an extra gift on the count, right?
Oh, okay.
We'll combine that with another one.
Yeah. All the Johns, all the Ashleys, all the yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Yep.
Yeah. So that the kids and the wife and I don't really count. It's just the kids. They all have the same number of gifts to unwrap.
And if that number is different, you do what? You said you put something together. How do you do that?
We'll combine. Like say our oldest has an extra gift, right? We'll combine it with another gift and make it one.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Right. Or as we go along, we'll be like, we could probably buy the other two another something small to even it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha.
So you tend to do that, but it does fall into that. Nobody likes seeing an empty Christmas tree. That's half depressing.
Well, see, that's what I was getting at, right? Yeah.
But there's a lot of families that are that way.
And that's what I was kind of thinking about too, right? Like we're talking about first world problems, right?
Total first world problems. Jesus.
I'm not oblivious, folks. My wife and I are in a fortunate position where we can go to Mexico for the holidays with our family, right?
Right.
We understand a lot of people are struggling just to buy gifts for their kids and spouses, and it is what it is, right?
I've got a great story.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're not oblivious, so yeah, don't think we understand the first world problem in this whole thing. John and I, one of these years, if people start actually actively listening, we'll commit to going out and doing some Christmas charity work, but only if you tell 10 friends about the podcast. I leave it on you.
Yeah, right. I have a story about that growing up.
Okay.
So I grew up in a very low income home.
Sure.
Right. Single mom, kids, things didn't pan out for my mom like she wanted them to. So she was raising all of us on her own. So we actually got gifts from the courthouse. From donations.
People are that way. Yeah, that happens for a lot of people.
My mom, bless her heart, wrapped up the gifts, put the names on them, set them under the tree. And Santa was still a thing because we were young.
Yeah.
I unwrapped this Barbie doll That was supposed to be mine. Literally a baby doll, like one of the little babies. And I'm like,
I'm familiar.
oh, this is kind of weird, and I can remember being like 9. I'm like, this is kind of weird. My sister, that's just above me in age, she unwraps this really stellar fire truck. And I remember looking at her and like, you want to switch? And we traded. And it was all good.
Listen, man, you bring that up. I don't ever remember it specifically happened to me because I only have me and my older brother, and we're so far apart that there was until we got to be adults.
Right.
There was never any confusion on whose gift was whose, whatever, right?
Right.
How many parents have been tired wrapping presents in the days leading up and put the wrong sticker on it, and they open it up and like, oh, that was for Sally. Shit.
Yep.
Like, looking at each other half hungover from the night before, like, fuck.
Dude, I have been in
never thought of that.
I have been in a mad rush, and I have wrapped up all the gifts, and I forgot to put names on fucking any of them, and they were in a pile on the bed. I had to unwrap every fucking one of them. And just open them all up, fucking check who's is for.
So I realized, and I shouldn't say I realized, that's unfair. I take that back. It was pointed out to me that I neglected to mention an important thing about my whole Christmas deal on our last special. And it was kind of a third-party person who kind of knew me, but it realized to me, or I realized after I heard it, that there's conversations that go on outside of your purview amongst family and friends and things.
Oh, for sure.
Somebody who had mentioned, how come during your last Christmas special you didn't mention your obsession with wrapping presents a very specific way? And then I realized I never brought that up last year.
Oh, you're one of those.
I take the time. I think if you're willing to give a person a gift, I don't know why only Christmas. I don't care about birthdays and other stuff like that. I want the folds to be crisp. I don't want you to be able to see no tape. You don't put all the ribbons in the center. Sometimes you offset them or you put them up in a corner. Not everybody gets the same tag. Everyone needs a unique. Dude, I have one of those flat...
You're fucking methodical.
Yeah, I have one of them flat Tupperware containers, the ones with they open up one side and the other, and they got the wheels on. I have one of them full of different kinds of ribbons and different kinds of tape for the different situation, and so many different...
You wouldn't be that way if you had kids.
Yeah, see, that's probably very true, right? I'm aware of that fact. Dude, I am obsessed, and if it's a weird shape or a weird size, I don't hate that. I'm in like the challenge of like, oh, that thing's an octagon. What am I going to do with this? I will take figuring out different ways. Michelle laughs at me.
Dude, I give you props. That is impressive. But yeah, you wouldn't fucking do that.
Again,
if you had
I also
kids.
have the time because I'm wrapping for my wife and I.
Yeah.
Most of the time, and then
you're repping for your wife.
No, but I've got a goddaughter, I've got nieces and nephews, I've got nieces, nephews, and my brother and sister-in-law and mother back home. I wrap those and then put them in a shipping container and send them home, right? I don't
take a week to fucking wrap them? My God,
it's
man.
not quick, buddy.
My fucking God.
I'll tell you, on that note, anybody out there who can be a little, so everybody has their thing probably, I hope, that they're a little picky about. Mm-hmm. Wrapping gifts is mine. Yep. I admit, I'm a little picky about it. After every year, and I admitted the last Christmas special, I'm always late sending them out. Not always, but most of the time to my brother and sister-in-law and my family back home. Right?
Sure.
I need to be better. I'm failing this year. Sorry, Greg. I always worry that after I wrap them up real nice and then I put them in the bigger box to seal to send to them, I'm like, well, those are going to be all fucked up by the time they get there. It actually frustrates me for a day or two, knowing that I spent the time to do that, but they're going to get banged around in Canada Post and USPS for 2 weeks before they get there, and they're going to look shitty by the time they get there. Every year frustrates me.
Pack it better.
Yeah, but listen, I'm not...
Look, there's ways around it, man. I mean, if you need help, fuck.
Hold on, man. Listen, I'm particular that I like to wrap a nice Christmas gift, but I'm not so particular as I'm going to wrap each of those gifts in goddamn bubble wrap and then send them up there. That's crazy.
Oh, fuck you.
Listen, I'm particular, but I'm not fucking neurotic. Like, there's lines I'm not willing to cross. I'll take the time to
You're
wrap
borderline
a present.
Sociopath.
Yeah, well, some people have said worse as recently as today. So you said something, man, that kind of I want to throw off on a little quick tangent here.
Yeah.
Two things. First of all, you were mentioning about you guys got to factor in. Obviously you're buying for 3 girls,
Yeah.
right? So that happens, right? It is just me and the missus. Now, up until this year, anybody who's been listening regularly, unfortunately, our dog Pepsi did pass away last December. It's coming up on the date real quick here. We always had a present for the dog.
Oh yeah.
You have pets in your home. Do you buy the animals pets? I've got some stats here I wanted to throw at you that are going to blow your mind. But do you?
Well, I don't buy my animals pets.
Sorry,
but
thank you. That's the whiskey talking. Do you buy your pets gifts?
Yeah, of course we do.
Wow, I got drunk this year again for the holiday special.
Imagine that.
Who knew?
So yeah, of course we do. They have their own stockings. Of course, man.
Stockings, okay.
Yeah.
That makes me feel better. We had a stocking for the dog too.
For sure.
I was going to say that. Yeah. I thought the present was bad enough. Yeah, we also had a stocking for the dog. Okay, keep going.
It honestly, okay, a little softer side, little downer Debbie here, but we were setting up Christmas decorations after we had Thanksgiving dinner because everybody was home, right? And kiddo brought out all the stockings and she's hanging them up on the wall and I'm standing there next to her, and we too recently had to put our old pup down. He had a big growth, nothing we could do, but
Finn, good old dog.
Yep. She grabbed Finner's stocking, hung it up, and then she realized and she took it down and put it up next to Finn because we have Finn's ashes up on the counter, up on the shelf.
That, yeah.
And put it up there. Damn near made me cry.
Oh, sure it would, buddy. Yeah.
It was just like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, we're it's almost a little fortunate this year that we're not going to be around. So like I've got my Christmas village up, and for everybody out there who wants to throw me hate because I was talking about a Christmas village with a few of the guys I work with this week, and they were giving me grief about that like I was a child. Folks, I love my Christmas village. I'm going to put it up on social media. It's a great part.
Nothing wrong with a Christmas
I love it.
village.
It's a great part of Christmas for me.
Yeah.
We're not putting up a tree because I don't want to put up a tree just to die while we're away. And I should point out, shout out to my buddy Gary, who's staying here while we're away. So the people who do know that we're gone for Christmas, the house is not empty.
Yeah.
And Gary knows where all the other things are at. So,
right.
Yeah, fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
But it's almost going to be a little better that we're not putting everything out because it won't be such a reminder that the dog's not here.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Quick public service announcement that we understand it really sucks when your pets go, but we're real people here, so we're going to talk about that shit.
Right.
So,
back to it, actually.
Yeah, what do you think? These numbers fucking surprise me, man. What do you think people spend? Okay, so let me start over. How many people out of 100? What percentage of people do you think get their pet a gift for the holidays, under the tree, in the stocking, whatever it is? What do you think the percentage is? Be realistic.
98%.
Well, that shows where you're at, man. I thought it was going to be like that too. It's 4 to 5. It's 81%.
81%.
81% of people surveyed. Now, admittedly, this is from the New York Post. This was out of 2,000 people at date, so it might be a little off, right? 81% of people were planning on getting their pet some sort of gift.
And those other 19 people are heartless fucking assholes.
I was trying to figure out what those other 19 people were. I was wondering if a survey of, I said it was 2,000 pet owners. Yeah. I wonder if some of those were hamsters, chinchillas, gerbils, turtles, birds, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe that factored in to 10% of that gets us up to 90-ish. That would make more sense, right?
That'd be solid.
But it didn't say that here, so I wasn't for sure. I assumed people who said they were pet owners had a real pet like a dog or a cat. Which, don't get me started on the cat thing and my wife, folks. So, that being said, the top gifts for animals, they're pretty easy. We're not going to go through that,
right,
except for one kind of surprise.
Okay, all right. Do it.
So obviously, you get your dog's bones, you get them treats, you get the cat's treats, you get them catnip, right?
Yep.
It's toys, some pretty similar stuff, right?
Yeah.
So the breakdown was 74% of the money went to pet toys.
Oh, sure.
A new squeaky, whatever, right? Yeah. And treats were actually a real small percentage at 7%.
I think that's because we're starting to get into the world of
feed your pets better.
Yes, now people are understanding what's in those treats.
Reading ingredient list, realizing, the dog loves it, but it's not good for them, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then the remainder was, and I'm going to give you one guess. It was toys, treats,
and oh God, I have no fucking idea.
clothes.
Oh, fucking come on.
The remainder was clothes.
Really?
Yes, it was.
Okay, look. Oh, fuck. So
I knew you'd hate this. I knew you'd hate this.
look, if you have a dog, or a cat, okay, they're not designed to have fucking clothes on, and I'm talking real dogs, real cats, like the hairless fucking cat and the Chihuahua don't count.
Yeah, what do they call the hairless cats? Persians?
Persians.
Yeah, you got to buy
or
that.
Egyptians or whatever.
Or Egyptians, yeah. You got to buy that cat a sweater. You got to buy a greyhound a sweater. We get it. We're
Yeah.
not talking about those. We're talking about dogs, cats.
Right. Like real fucking animals.
Yeah, animals. Wild. Half wild. Okay.
So yeah, no, God, fucking clothes, dude. My wife we have a corgi, and she wants to keep buying. No, I've been really good with getting her not to buy clothes for that dog.
Well, growing up, dude, this is a mild side tangent. We're talking about dog clothes or whatever. There was a very popular saying where I was from, and I'm going to put it out there to you and see if it just is the same thing here. It either dawns on you or it doesn't, right? Mm-hmm. There is one appropriate piece of clothing for a dog, and it is a bandana.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the only appropriate piece of clothes for a dog.
I automatically went to hunting vest, life jacket.
Now I'm going to give those two honorable mentions, because if you got a littler dog who's kind of thin, the slip-on hunting warm keep your skinny dog, those are also acceptable now. And the life vest, with the handle, we've all seen. If you got a little dog who, like, we had a pit bull who didn't swim great. She just barely kept her head above water, but she loved it. The floaty with the handle is kind of good if you got a little not fat dog like that.
I had a golden retriever and a yellow lab, and they were both hunting dogs. And the golden retriever, he had a full hunting life vest with a handle on it that I could pull him into the boat.
Again, I don't hate those. Those do make a lot of sense.
My yellow lab had I got him a neoprene vest, hunting vest, because his chest was always getting scratched from running in upland game.
Yeah.
Cornfields and shit. So, anyway,
side
tangent.
All right. So before we move on here, man, I'm just going to get one last guess from you here. When it comes to the pet thing, we talk a lot on some of these episodes, especially Thanksgiving recently and things like that, dollar figures about what people are spending on shit.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Annually in the United States, according to the New York Post, what do you think people have spent as pet gifts?
Are you talking average or just straight up dollar amount?
Average dollar amount per year that pet owners spend for Christmas gifts for their pets. Ballpark.
I'm going to say $75.
Sorry, for the country.
Oh, for the country.
Yeah, everybody.
1.2 million.
That's excellent. Assuming what we found is right, we've mentioned a million times the internet's a dumpster fire. Apparently, it's 14.8 million.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
That's the United States, man.
Oh, fuck.
They're definitely doing that shit in Canada too, as well as down here
and Europe and everyone.
Yeah. So all right, anyways, we'll move on from that. So spin it back to construction real quick. We always try to do that a little bit if we can. That's what the podcast is about here, folks. We talked last time, but every year gives you a little bit more perspective. What have you seen, thought about? What's a great gift for the construction worker in your life, your husband, your wife, your partner, whatever it is? In my head, anything that keeps them, especially because it's Christmas time we're talking about, warm through the winter.
Yes.
And then a tool that they wouldn't normally buy themselves.
Yeah, look, okay, so I actually this is where I focused on when we were talking about doing this episode. Okay. So, of course, if you're in the upland part of the country and you get snow and cold and freezing rain, for the love of God, if you actually love your spouse, get them a pair of heated socks, heated hoodie, heated vest. I don't even care if you get them a pair of heated freaking underwear. Battery powered heated equipment, right? If you're in construction, because for the love of God, it is a lifesaver, right? And then, like you said, a tool, good solid Leatherman, right?
A
Multi-tools.
Leatherman is a classic.
Yep.
Right.
It's an all-around tool. Got what you need. The other lesser thought of gifts that I want to actually bring up, right? The ideas that I had. You can find a good quality, inexpensive massage gun.
Man, you said the same thing last year.
Yep. That is key. I love mine.
I just ran mine on my wife's shoulders and back the other day for about 10 minutes.
Yep.
Huge club husband points.
Yep.
Big win for me. Yeah.
Exactly.
And they're inexpensive.
Yep. And then also you need to this one's a little odd, right? And I don't know if you've ever used this
You're
stuff.
a little odd sometimes. Keep going.
The one that I'm looking at right now is O'Keeffe's Working Hands. It's a hand cream. Our hands get dry, cracked.
Yeah,
Right.
I've heard the ads. Yeah.
Yep. Udder butter is another one to use. Stuff like that is great. And you know what? If you're in the warmer climates and you're in construction and say you're in South America and stuff like that, you know what? If you can get a hold of it, order it up. The fucking monkey butt powder. Nobody likes freaking swamp ass.
It's not good.
But they're a little odd, but dude, lifesaver points, right?
Yeah, that's true. I agree with what
Quality
you're
of life.
saying. Yeah, the heated gear for sure, and even some of the basic stuff like the old school, a 20 pack of hand warmers or foot warmers, because eventually we're going to be out in the cold. Some of us all the time, as we mentioned, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you bring that up, man. I wanted to go through, and also talk a bit of shit here.
Okay.
I will admit, since I was in my mid-20s, Men's Journal has been a go-to. I'll at least read some of what they have to say. Some of the things appeal to me.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a big miss. So as I was going through this, I was curious. So the last-minute stuff is what I always struggle with.
Yep.
I've mentioned my wife is a better gift giver than I, but I usually have an idea to something she'll enjoy. But it's the stocking stuffers. It's the little gifts, something a little extra.
Yep.
So I looked up here, best gifts under $50.
Okay.
All right. I have to do it from our perspective, folks, because I don't have any other ones. So this was the best 35, as it turned out, from Men's Journal. The best 35 gifts for men under $50.
Okay.
I got some real problems with this list, buddy.
Okay.
Okay.
You didn't share this list with me, so I have no idea what's on it. So
No, I wanted to kind of get you in blind here. Okay. Some of these make sense because we are in the construction industry.
Yeah.
And there's lots of people who aren't, though. So Men's Journal is thinking in the broad scheme.
Yeah.
They're obviously encouraged also to promote things that might make them a little money or whatever, right?
Sure.
But I'm curious on the stuff that you think is ridiculous here. So I'm going to give some good ones, some bad ones, and then some honorable mentions.
Okay,
All
fair
right?
enough.
We'll try to
Yeah,
burn
yeah.
through it here pretty quick, folks. Evergreen Cases, this company called Seahorse, they have what's called a dry box. Okay, they're made by Huckleberry.
Okay.
Or sorry, Huckberry. Pardon me, not Huckleberry, not Finn.
I'll
but
be your Huckleberry.
Yeah, right, but Huckberry. For $30, this holds a full cell phone, a wallet, your earbuds. It's got a spot to tuck in your watch, smartwatch, or regular watch, or whatever, right? Fully waterproof, easy to take on trips and stuff with you to protect all the extras and electronics and everything. That's actually kind of an okay gift for someone who's outdoorsy.
You'd have to get that for somebody that is very much a outdoor enthusiast that spend a lot of time hiking, camping, fishing, boating.
Right. But in our industry, there's a lot of men and women who are outdoorsy, right?
There is, for sure.
All right. So now
I think it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah. Okay. So I just mentioned this came up as number 1 on the list. That's why I brought it up.
Really?
Number 2 worries me as well.
Okay.
Tin cup whiskey. Listen, we're no whiskey connoisseurs by any means here.
Tin cup whiskey.
We drink some pretty regular shit.
Yeah.
Tasty, beautiful, Four Roses. I love it.
Right.
This sounds like they were getting paid to put tin cup in. I'm just mentioning it because that's the way it goes, right?
How much is a bottle of Tin Cup whiskey?
It doesn't even say here 42% ABV. I can't imagine it's more than $30, 35 maybe.
Yeah, total wine. $30,
There you go.
$29.
Obviously, you called it. You hit the nail on the head here. A Leatherman falls third on this list. It's a classic gift for somebody who's working with their hands. Once in a while, you don't have the exact tool you need, and right on your hip is many tools. Right. It's the Swiss Army knife of the 21st century.
Yep. The caveat to that is it's really uncomfortable to have one of those on your hip and put your tool belt on.
Especially if you work in a trade, which a lot of us do, where occasionally, and sometimes more than occasionally, you got to just lay down on the ground and get underneath something, and then you're eventually going to lean on that, and that doesn't feel good.
Yeah, that kind of ruins the day.
They show a regular watch here. This one just happens to be a Timex Expedition Spout version or whatever, right?
Yep.
Okay. They're inexpensive. Certainly it's less than $50.
Sure.
But as we mentioned recently, smartwatches aren't that expensive, and they're so much more convenient. And I look at somebody with a regular watch and go, eh.
Look, and the safety factor of it, like especially for people in the trades, anybody that's working around electricity, anybody that's working around heat, hot temperatures, don't wear a fucking watch. A regular watch, don't.
They're almost always metallic.
Yep.
Yeah, do yourself a favor, right? This
My
is one,
smartwatch is all plastic.
Right. This is one I was really passionate about. It falls in real early on the list here. This one happened to be a Rains brand, what they call a wash bag. It's a shaving kit for men
Yeah.
that you can put razors. I mean, you know what a shaving kit is.
Yeah.
Why would I fucking explain that to you, right? I only thought about this one real quick because I'm sure you heard during hunting season this year, Tony give me grief about mine.
Uh-huh.
So listen, we mentioned earlier, God love my sister-in-law, Young Lim from Korea. Early on, she got me a shaving kit.
Yeah.
I think it's Chanel or Gucci. I assume knockoff, but I don't know for sure. But it's pretty obvious that European and other countries are kind of flexible about what you're allowed to use as a dude for a shaving kit or whatever.
I did think it was your wife's.
Yeah. Our buddy Tony calls it my makeup kit.
Yep.
But that being said, it's a real handy gift for a dude to have a nice, consistent, all-in-one. You got your nail clipper, you got your razor, a spot for this.
Yeah.
A shaving kit for a guy is the makeup kit for a lady.
It is. It absolutely is.
And a guy who's trying to put all those things in what? If you don't have that kit, what are you doing? Are you just putting them in a side pouch in your luggage?
Yeah.
No. Take your shaving kit out when you get to your place you're going.
Yep.
Put it out, fold it out, boom.
Yep.
Keep yourself back.
I
think a shaving kit's great.
I'm not going to lie. I bought my own. I did buy my own. But I bought it through, I think it was part of Manscaped. Their whole trimmer set.
They cut on to all that, right? Manscaped, yeah.
Yeah, they have the full product line. It's not just what you guys think, but yeah, nice leather bag. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Hey, listen.
Spend the money for a good one. Give your man a nice shaving kit. He will appreciate it.
It is good. And on that same vein, we will use the same junk for years until it literally falls apart. Not just a shaving kit, but a shaving system, even a cheap Norelco or something, a new clipper trimmer with some different things that'll help you trim up your beard or your hair. That's also a really great gift because we'll use the other one until it literally dies.
Yeah, I change mine out quite a bit.
Right.
I don't know about you. My electric trimmers, I change out quite frequently because
I use mine until it dies.
No, see, mine
I should be better.
If it starts like pulling any hair, I'm done with it. Like, nope, getting rid of it.
I get it, man. We'll go through a couple more here for the folks.
Yeah.
The Ranger Station.
What the fuck is that?
The Ranger Station Perfume Discovery Set.
No, get fucked.
Yep. So I had a big problem with this. This was in the top 10. This is a 6 cartridge cologne tester for men, and I say that quote unquote. I'm not opposed to using cologne, but I don't need a cologne sampler set. That just proves to me that
you said perfume before you said cologne.
Well, because this is the top 35 gifts for men under $50.
Yeah.
And the Ranger Station does say the Ranger Station perfume discovery
Nope, right there.
set. Right.
Get fucked.
Lost me. Okay. So we agree on that. All right.
Perfumer for women.
Hey Dudes falls in the next one. I get a pair of Hey Dudes. They're okay.
You seem to really like them.
They're okay.
Yeah. Okay.
They're okay. Right.
Fair enough.
A great fold out knife. A great fold out knife is fantastic.
Again, it goes back to the Leatherman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A great fold out knife is fantastic. Even if a guy's got 20 of those, another quick fold out knife to tuck in his pocket as a pocket knife is always lovely.
But it has to look cooler than the one that he has.
Yeah, it's got to look better than the one he has. So yeah, if you're thinking
Otherwise, it's going to end up in the drawer.
Yeah, if you're thinking about buying that, you ask him, hey, show me what you got. Like, what do you carry for a pocket knife? He'll know what's up. Yeah. A flashy, and my brother, shout out to my brother Greg, sent me one of these. It was 3 or 4 Christmases ago now. Mm-hmm. A crazy, super bright flashlight. My brand is a Knacked Fire. I know that one particularly, right?
Yeah.
But these ones that are crazy super, I have used it out back in the backyard. It lights the whole thing up at night. I love having a crazy bright flashlight. If I gotta get up in the middle of the night and I thought I heard something, I'll walk out and shine it out back. It lights it up like it's daytime. I love a super bright flashlight.
No, what the fuck are you doing? Dude, if I hear something, I don't want anybody to see me coming.
No. I want them
Fuck
to know.
that.
No, I want them to know where I am. Because if they fire, I know exactly where they are. Obviously, slippers, fantastic, right?
Yeah, a good pair of house slippers is awesome.
Right, because as you were saying, getting a new whatever a lot more quickly than regular. Mm-hmm. What were you talking about? You were talking about... What were you talking about getting a newer one? Fuck it. Moving on.
Changing all the time?
Something.
My trimmer set?
Trimmer set, yeah. So it's the same thing with slippers. They're only comfortable for a while. Toss them, keep them for extras, buy a new pair of slippers.
Yeah.
Here's one that bugged the shit out of me. A belt. Man, if my wife buys me a belt for Christmas, I'm only going to think one of two things. She believes that my fashion sense, quote unquote, needs to be updated, which I could live with, or she's noticed that my belt isn't quite big enough for the space it needs, and she's subtly trying to tell me that I'm getting fat, as John literally pulls his belt off.
Yeah, I'm pulling this belt off for a very specific reason. My wife bought me this belt. Read what that belt says.
All right, folks. Give me a sec here while I tune in because my eyes aren't what they used to be. Congrats on being my husband, you lucky bastard. Something of me. So think of me whenever you take off your pants. I love you, heart, something or other. Congrats on being my husband, you lucky bastard. That's pretty funny, actually. I'm going to give her credit for that one. Mine didn't say anything about being specifically engraved. Yeah. That's kind of funny. All right, I'm going to give you that one. Then it really gets quick into the stuff that you would buy at Walmart or a gas station.
Yeah.
As we go down. Although I will say, honorable mention, number 31 on this list, 4 Roses single barrel. Now we're a small batch. We're a small batch podcast here, but single barrel is still pretty good too.
Yeah.
So, I guess basically what I was getting at here is, it's pretty easy to find some good stocking stuffers at the end of the year for your spouse that works in construction, right?
Yeah.
Think warmth, think utility, think comfort.
Yeah.
You know,
quality of life,
anything that you think might make their life, even if it's not at work. At work is important.
Yep.
But even when they come home at the end of the day, your point of the massager.
Yep.
Right?
10 minutes with a massager is amazing.
Listen, if I wasn't worried about people I know thinking I was bougie as shit, because there's a couple parts about my life, folks, that will eventually come up that you'd be like, oh, I didn't realize, yeah, electricians maybe are a little bougie. I wouldn't mind one of them foot bath massager things.
Okay, I was going to bring this up.
Right? I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, I was going to bring this up because you had your list, but I have what I consider, it's going to sound really fucking weird. Look, if you, and I know we're running long.
That's all right. Thanks for listening, folks.
Right.
Yeah.
We love
Christmas.
You. Merry Christmas. How do I say this? I'm just going to say it. Look, men or women, it doesn't matter. If you're a spouse of one of them, say you're a woman, schedule yourself a pedicure Schedule one for your man to go with you. Men, get a fucking pedicure. Yeah, we're on our feet all day long. Take care of our feet. Take care of your feet. And dude, when they give you a foot massage, I mean, come on. You're liable to fall asleep.
All right.
You don't have to get your nails painted.
I'm going to let you finish your point. Don't let me step on you.
No, and that's what my point is. That is on my list of solid Christmas gifts. Men or women.
A pedicure.
A pedicure.
Let the comments fly. All right. I agree with one thing that you said. I'm going to dig in on the other one, and then we'll close this out, folks. Thank you again for everybody who's listened this long. Okay. Foot massage. Yep. Sure. I like getting a good foot rub. I mentioned to somebody very recently, I don't remember who I was talking to, that I'm embarrassed whenever I do get the occasional relaxation massage.
Yeah.
That I want to tell the person that's going to be doing it, like, hey, if you massage my shoulders and my back for like 10 minutes and then spend the next 50 minutes massaging my feet, I'm going to give you a better tip. But for some reason, I'm embarrassed of that. Like,
you can totally tell them.
You can totally tell them that, right? They're probably happy to do that. They don't got to move around. They can sit in their chair or whatever, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. I've had manly men. One of them was a guest on our podcast. I'm not going to call him out now because when he comes back on, and he is soon, I'll call him out in person and let him defend his position himself. But one of the top 3 people in my whole life that when I think of a man, it's that guy.
Yeah.
Okay? He's all about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not getting his nails painted, but letting the ladies rub his feet, clean his nails up. He's not getting no gloss or nothing.
No.
He's just getting things cleaned up, right? If that guy says it's cool, it's cool. But for some reason in my head, man, I don't know.
Look, man, it's all about taking care of yourself, right?
Yeah, for sure, right?
And dude, like I said, and I'll say it again, we're on our feet all fucking day. We spend $300 on a pair of boots because we're in them all day.
Yeah.
You know, take care of your feet, baby yourself a little bit.
All right, fair enough, buddy. My answer to that, but I'm willing to keep an open mind, would be I can clip my fingernails or my toenails. Pardon me, it's fine. But
So can I.
I'm trying to be oversimplified here. Yeah, I don't want to hate on you for this. I don't agree, but that doesn't mean it's not right.
Right.
So anyways, thanks for listening, folks. I know this one ran on a little long, but we just wanted to have a chat here and, wish all of you a Merry Christmas. Have a fun laugh between John and I. Yeah, we talked about some kind of Christmas-related gifts and construction-related gifts, but once in a while, we're just going to sit here and talk shit, and holidays will be very commonly that.
Well, yeah, I mean, because, look, we enjoy the holidays. We enjoy the time with our families, time with our friends, time with our friends that we consider family. And that's, at the end of the day, gifts or not, it doesn't matter. That's what it's about. Spend time with your loved ones, people you enjoy being around, people that make your soul happy.
Right.
Right.
I totally agree with that. And I'm going to throw it out here there. Just maybe we take a little heat. Maybe we be a little honest, but there's a free gift that you can always throw your spouse that's a guaranteed winner every time, and it costs you nothing. Think about it for a minute.
Oh, I can think of a lot of them.
Yeah, just remember, folks, there's free gifts that you can throw out that are Christmas winners every single time. If you think about it for a sec, you'll make your spouse happy. So.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Once again, from the Eastside Job Trailer here, on behalf of the iShower Afterward podcast, we really hope you have a very Merry Christmas or whatever holiday you're spending.
Yep.
And hopefully in the new year, we have many more guests. And John, I just want to say thank you, man. Merry Christmas, our 2nd annual episode.
Cheers.
And please rate, review, subscribe. Yep. And if you do nothing else for us, if you want to give the iShower Afterward podcast a gift, tell a friend.
Yep. God bless.
All right. Sláinte. Merry Christmas, everybody.